David Patrick Green, davidpatrickgreen.com, hackhollywood.com, actorpower.com. Today's question is the subject of a bit of controversy, but I think I can clear up all that controversy in a couple of quick minutes. So the question is, should you memorize your audition sides? Well, the answer is a resounding yes. You should memorize your actor sides, your audition sides, if you can. Now, if you can't memorize them because they are really long or you just got them and you can't quite do it, then it's perfectly acceptable to do whatever you have to do the best audition possible. But the reason why you should memorize your sides is you're going to have to memorize them anyway if you book the job, so you might as well memorize them. And you are going to have to learn to memorize very quickly in the auditioning world. And that is something that very few acting schools will ever prepare you for. You have no idea how quickly things change and how one day you've got the scene and the next day it's completely different, or you talk to the producer or the director because they only gave you this much material and you talk about the scene when you get to the set and they say, oh, no, it's not like that at all. And you're like, what? All my preparation is out the window, right? So rule number one is, yes, you should memorize if you can memorize, because you are going to have to memorize if you book the job. And you just need to be able to turn it on and turn it off, memorize stuff very quickly so that you can basically play parts that can possibly change very quickly. Okay, now, there's some other thing that I've been hearing, some strange advice, and that is, it depends where you live, okay? Yeah, I mean, there are certain people that have certain opinions about all kinds of things, but they're not you. And so what you should do is what works for you, because what really matters is the producer, okay? And you're really never going to know what the producer thinks about memorization or not being memorized. I don't think they really care. I don't think they think about it. This is only stuff that actors and casting directors think about and talk about amongst each other, and maybe even acting teachers. And they get a lot of ideas in their head, and people put ideas in actors' heads, because if you pay someone money to give their opinion about something, they're going to give it to you. But it doesn't mean that it's the right advice. And it doesn't mean it's the right advice for you. So look, I'm going to say something controversial. People's opinions don't matter. They're not worth a hill of beans. Everybody's got one, okay? But their opinions are based on what they think you should do because it benefits them. Like if somebody says, well, in Atlanta, we prefer actors to have their sides in their hands. I mean, first of all, I don't know how anyone can prefer that you have sides in your hands. Everybody wants a fully memorized, fully functional scene, right? Why wouldn't they? If you can nail it, nail it. But if they say that, well, why should you care whether they want the pieces of paper in their hand, in your hand or not? What matters is, can you do the job, okay? And are you really amazing at doing the job? Are you really right for the job? So if you are really right for the job, and you should know that, and you shouldn't be going out for things you're not right for, because what would be the point when there's someone better for the job? So if you're really right for the job, then do it however you can do it. Again, what's going to matter is what the producer thinks anyway, because casting directors don't have the power to decide who gets the part and doesn't get the part. And if they're focused on whether you got pieces of paper in your hand or not, they're watching the wrong thing. So guys, this whole idea that there are differences in regional markets, like if you live in Atlanta, New Orleans, New Mexico, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, London, Sydney. I'm sure everybody's got their preferences, but as an actor, is that what you should be worried about? Are you going to try and keep up with what everybody's preferences are? And I mean, let's say you're in Atlanta and there's 6 casting directors in Atlanta. Do you think they all have the same opinion? Like, are they all going to be like, oh, I want you to have the sides in your hand, or I absolutely don't want the sides in your hand? I mean, do you think they had a meeting and went, what should we all want together? No, of course not. They don't have that they don't get together and discuss that kind of stuff. They may have their personal preferences for whatever reason, but guess what? They're not making the decisions. And if some producer shows up from LA or London or Australia or wherever and starts watching audition tapes, do you think the casting director is going to say, you shouldn't hire that actor because they have the sides in their hands? Oh, no. Or we're not going to show that person's tape because they have the sides in their hands. Does that make any sense whatsoever? And if that's actually what they're doing, I mean, first of all, how petty would that be? And second of all, why are they in this business? Their job is to find and extract the best out of actors, not to put restraints on them and say, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. They should be like, run wild, go for it, do whatever you want. Let's see what you've got. Because I need to get some really cool stuff to the producers and the writers and the directors, right? That's what it's about, guys. It's a creative, collaborative process. It's not private school. You must do things this way. Oh, you have the sides in your hand. Stick your hand out. I'm going to hit it with a ruler, right? Sorry, I'm recounting my own youth at private school before they tossed me out. Can you imagine me getting kicked out of private school? Anyway, so there's that. And then the final point I want to make is that little decisions like this distract you from your real job as an actor, okay? It's just like, we are scared to do the most important things, which is to just become a killer actor by practicing 40 hours a week. We're scared to reach out and meet people. We're hiding behind our computers. Pick up the phone, go to someone's office, producer, director, writer, casting director, agent. It doesn't matter. The business is about personal relationships and performance. What can you do and who knows that you can do it? So all of these little micro decisions about should you have white background in your headshot? Should you have plants in your headshot? Whatever, these are of minor importance. Should you memorize or should you have the sides in your hand? Minor importance. Do whatever you can do, but your goal should be to be able to get off book because that's what you're going to have to do. You should not be worried about whether casting director A in Miami likes you to have the sides, but in your back pocket. And she needs to be able to see them sticking out so that she knows they're there, but she doesn't want to see them. Or, casting director in New York wants you to have them and hold them in both hands just below camera level like this, so you can just flick your eyes down while you're reading, right? These are not important questions. They are not important decisions. I'm only covering them so that you will understand they are not important, okay? But the bottom line is you should memorize if you can memorize, because if you are new and someone doesn't know that you're capable of memorizing, then do they really want to take a chance on you? Like if you're blah, 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 even if you do a good performance, somebody might be going, well, he was really good, but how do I know he can learn the lines and do that when the lines are in his head? Because trust me, that's two completely different things. I mean, I was a killer cold reader. Oh yeah, I've got a character going on. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. But then if I had to memorize, I was like, wait, what's the word? Totally different, right? I've gotten beyond that, but that's the way it was. And so if I was a producer, I'd want to know this guy who just did an amazing cold read can also do it on the set memorized. And especially if I say, you know what, we've changed a few lines. Here, do this. When? Now. Huh? Now guys, the bar is very, very high in acting, in professional acting. The top of the bar, you don't have to necessarily jump over the highest hurdle to work and succeed. But what I have seen people be able to do is amazing. And I'd like to think that we all want to do the best we possibly can. And so, I've seen people, like to name somebody, Gina Torres, I saw her auditioning for a lead in a pilot, and she came in and she had the wrong sides for whatever reason. And it was like 3 scenes, and it was for a series lead. And they said, oh, you know what? These are the wrong sides. Would you mind going out and doing them doing the new sides. And I was actually thinking, what's the difference? It's still the same character. They hadn't changed the character. So I thought it was kind of silly to even ask her. But she went out and I figured, okay, she's going to come back in half an hour or whatever and she'll cold read it. She came in, literally, one person, she came in, they said, go read the sides. She went out, another person came in and read, they left, and she then stuck her head and said, I'm ready. And I'm like, oh, okay, so she's going to cold read it. No, she was completely off book, nailed it, and booked the part, okay? My mind was blown. I was like, how is that even possible? I can't memorize 3 lines, let alone 10 pages of new material. So that is what you guys need to be able to learn to do. 10 pages, off book, bang, 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 bang. If you can't do that, guess what? You can do it. You just don't know you can do it, okay? So most of what we can't do now, we are able to learn. And I can do it, so therefore you can do it, because I am the worst memorizer in human history, or at least I was, because I was so self-conscious, and I was just thinking, I'm going to forget the sides, I'm going to forget the sides. But then you know what I did? I just subjected myself to cruel and unusual punishment. I would prepare 3 scenes in a day, and I would have like 3 acting classes I was going to, so I had no choice. I was just like, I got to go to class, it's in an hour. I'm literally reading the sides while I'm driving my car. I'm singing the lines to music to try and get it to go into my head. So you got to learn to get off book, because that's what actors do. They don't get to hold the sides on the set. They don't get to hold the sides on the stage. So what's the point of holding them in the audition? Just live through it just the way you would on set. I don't care if it's unnatural to you, if you're not comfortable with it, get comfortable with it by practicing over and over and over and over. I used to hate doing these videos. I couldn't talk to the camera because, I don't know, I was like all in my head, but now I can talk to this camera. And I think I'm gonna keep getting better at it because it's still kind of weird. And I always wonder, is my face actually on the screen or am I like off here somewhere? Right? Because I can't see. I don't have a monitor. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. Give me the thummies, share-sies, subscribe-sies, and just have a great one, guys. Just give it your all, and you will succeed. I'll talk to you soon.